Bad timing, man.
I know. You can't control your feelings like that. Anyways, hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Naked Knowledge Night, Friday afternoon.
Yeah, that works. We didn't say it was Naked Knowledge Thursday nights, so it's flexible.
It's afternoon over here on the California.
And it's still light out here. Usually we're doing this when it's dark outside my time, so.
Very true. So today we're going to be talking about eBay. It's not to say that it'll be a one and done kind of situation, because eBay, there's just a lot of information about eBay out there. So we're going to start out how we normally start out. We're going to share some of our sales this week.
Yeah.
And I've made you go first a couple of times, so I'll go first.
Okay, good.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so my first sale is going to be this one. This was actually something my mom had gotten in a lot. And sometimes we never know what we're going to get in the jewelry lot. And this, my mom ended up purchasing a Southwestern lot. And this right here is a little ceramic, just tiny. And there is the maker's stamp on the bottom. Now, what's really interesting about this, and I mean, it was this big. I sold it for $120 because the name on the back was Juan Tafoya.
Okay.
He signed it, I believe, in California. But all of this right here on the bottom, he has since passed. And he was known for his very small work. The blue bead here is turquoise. So his pieces are sought after and collectible. So that was awesome. That had been sitting for, I want to say, 3 months. So
that's bad.
No. Definitely happy about it. The next one is one that sold straight out off of eBay. A lot of times that rarely happens.
Yeah.
This is a Laguna brand. It sold for $24 plus shipping. Laguna brand is a really awesome vintage brand to be on the lookout for. You know, you hear about Trifari, you hear about Monet. Laguna's a good one to look for. So
cool. Well, I learned a new brand. Well, 2 new. Well, that one, a new artist and a new brand. That is awesome. Let's see my sales. Okay, I don't have any like big money anythings. My Poshmark has been doing well lately, which is cool. Let's see. I will do this because I'm worried about its safety in travel. It's a mug. Oh, my window.
The one that you showed during the Steal or not Steal or Deal, but the Deal or No Deal auction.
That's right. So I ended up listing all of my Ray Dunn mugs. This is the first one to sell. It only sold for $13, which is totally fine. I'm happy with that. I think I paid like $2 for it. And I'm just nervous about shipping mugs. So let's pray it arrives safely. I shipped it, I think, 2 days ago, so it's not quite there yet. I've had a lot of just lame-o sales. Not lame-o, just like very bread and butter. Nothing high value. And I have that forever going sale on my eBay of like sale things that are 65% off. And so those sell a lot. So I get a lot of like $5 cha-chings. And I'm like, well, but this was kind of fun. This was a Mercari sale that was $12. It's just a bunch of dinos, like little toys, like little, action figure style. They're not huge, but they're not like teeny tiny. Sold for $12 on Mercari. I paid a couple bucks for like probably 100 toys or something like that. Like there were a lot, not all dinosaurs. Some were bugs, some were like lions and stuff, but I lotted them up into like, maybe it was more like 70 pieces because I lotted them up into like 10 lots of about 7 toys in each. So, and I just liked it because it was different and I was trying to dabble. Both very low dollar, but their sales.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's what we love.
What we're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hi, Carly. Welcome.
Hey, I didn't even get that yet. Hello.
Oh, I got it on YouTube.
So today we're going to be talking about eBay. At first, I was very uninterested in selling on eBay because it was a bit nerve-wracking. When was the point where you decided to branch out just from Poshmark to do eBay?
It was, and it's easy to remember because it was the end of the year and I made my first sale, not this January, but I guess it was last January. I had listed something in like December 29th or whatever, and it sold the very beginning of January. So I guess that was, yeah, it would have been of 2020, I guess. And I had been on Poshmark and Mercari for maybe about a year prior to that, give or take. So I was ready to expand. I don't know what really made the tipping point happen. I remember the time. I think I felt like kind of like what I'm doing with Amazon now is like I just was ready to try something new and see if I liked it and I didn't have to stick with it if I didn't like it.
Right.
What about you?
It honestly was probably this last December, 2020, maybe even November, when things started slowing down on YouTube, because that's primarily what I did. I would do 3 to 4 auctions on YouTube a week. And with the holidays, things obviously slowed down. So instead of investing so much time and energy and showing the same things over and over again, I decided to list. And it was Bolo Buddies who told me about List Perfectly. And that she really encouraged me to branch out even to Mercari as well, because I was just doing Etsy at that point. And I would get a sale every now and then. But I was really skeptical because I've had a lot of really terrible experiences on eBay.
Like fire.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't want that same kind of standard. But as it goes on, I've had one negative review when I first started, and it was over a humongous miscommunication, and I still haven't been able to get back up to like 99. I'm like 98 on the cusp. So I'm really excited. So
I feel like feedback is another topic we could dive into as well. I got my first neutral this week.
Oh.
Neutral. And it wasn't. Well, now I can't remember. I'm confused.
You gotta let me know.
Yeah. I got confused. I forgot which one it was for a second.
They started in 99, I think. In the 90s.
Like, and I was listening to a podcast that said once that like someone had been around selling on eBay for that long that you would actually mail checks.
Yes, that's what my mom said that's how money orders, stuff like that. Yeah. So that's she said when she started doing it, and I remember us having like the dial up, and I remember not being able to pick up the phone if my mom was watching an auction.
Oh yeah.
Like refreshing, having to wait for the page to load. So it's obviously come quite a long way since then. I think the rumor has it that, eBay always sides with the buyer, and it kind of leaves the seller high and dry. I haven't run into a situation like that, but that definitely made me fearful that it could possibly happen one day.
Yeah. And I think a lot of other people would agree who have experienced that in modern times, that people would say they do side with the buyer more than the seller. I had a on that topic, very positive experience with eBay today, or not today, this week, about, I was worried that they wouldn't side in my favor, even though it wasn't really an issue. I had a return, which is fine. I accept returns. They're not free. The buyer has to pay the return shipping unless I don't describe it properly. But this was because it didn't fit. It was a dress. And I was like, fine, just send it back. And they give the buyer a long time to send it back. I don't even know how many weeks it is, but it's like a month, I want to say. And I never got it back. And so in the return details, it says, if they don't send it back by this date, we may close this return case. And so I was waiting for them to do it, and it wasn't automatic. So I ended up calling eBay and was just like, hey, can you close this? I never got the item back. And they closed it. I was actually really surprised. I thought they would be like, well, you have to wait more. Like, I was just waiting for it to be a problem. I don't know if that's like bad judgment or whatever, but it went so smoothly.
Fantastic, because
yeah,
that's unreal. And I think a lot of people don't realize that you can get them on the horn. You can call them on the phone.
I do all the time.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people just assume that because they do a lot of the e-commerce, online, that was a stutter moment, that you wouldn't be able to actually talk to someone like in PayPal, like in, eBay or whatever. But I've had a similar experience with when I got my packages stolen. I asked, how is this going to affect my eBay, So they were really awesome. So I definitely recommend any problem, any concern, definitely go through the proper channels. But eBay is probably, as far as listing goes, quite easy, especially if an item has a UPC.
Yeah, the barcode. Yeah, you can just take a picture of it, or you know what I mean.
So basically, going down and talking about bringing up, I will screen share because I was actually in the midst of doing it as well. So I have my listing here. Can you see that all right?
Yeah, your Cocopelli.
Yes. So this actually happened to be from, I went through Terapeak, and I want to say thank you so much again for telling me about Terapeak, which we'll go into that in a second. But this is what it looks like to create your listing. Okay. So it gives you how many? 80 characters. You can put in your custom SKU, but I just use Thrifter Scorecard for that. I have a store category. I have a store. And we'll go into that topic a little bit more, but I, of course, like to divvy up my categories. This is an option to put in. It'll show on the top right-hand section right above the sale price, where basically this whole thing.
Do you put there normally?
I do. Like I was working on this Cocopelli, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and take and open up, load some photos in here. So what I like about it is how many photos you can add.
Yeah.
And another thing too is, since I've got a, I keep on wanting to say shadow box, but it's a light box, and it has a white background. I can hit this button and enhance the photo. So I love that part of it, being able to enhance the photo and make the photo look nicer. So there's that. And I usually go through and I just hit this button. I know you can go through and like adjust it this way and really brighten it up. But anyways, so then obviously it'll give item specifics, and sometimes it could just be a smidge bit annoying because sometimes it'll be the weirdest thing that they keep on wanting you to come back and modify. And that can be kind of frustrating after a while. But
one good thing too, cute. One good thing too about the item specifics is which makes you would want to fill your title in first, but obviously fill your title in. And then what I do is I type my title and click enter, and it will populate any info in there in the specifics. So if you say, you know, like turquoise, copper, Cocapelli, and brooch pin, whatever, it will fill that in for you. You don't have to fix those drop downs.
And down here further, item description. Okay. I've heard a lot of debatable things about item descriptions. Whether that is the smallest item description is the best, short, sweet, to the point, a few sentences. How do you like to do your description?
There's debate on how the best one is crafted or whatever, and where to put your keywords within it because of how Google will read and scrape your listing. So I basically, when you create your title, it will copy the title into the first line of your description. I sometimes leave that and then add to it. Other times I will basically take that information and reconfigure the keywords to put them in different orders, because I have heard that is better. Who knows? I cannot prove that, but I heard. So I will take that same descriptive long phrase and kind of switch around the adjectives. And then I will note any interesting things about it, like that you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell in the photo, because I do clothing. So maybe like, is there a zipper somewhere, like on like a side zip up a dress or something like that? And then I give my condition again, like excellent or good, pre-owned condition kind of thing. And then I have a shortcut to say approximate measurements are listed in the photos. So I add that every time. And I've created a keyboard shortcut. So I just type the few letters and then out poops the full phrase, which is awesome. So mine are very short and very bullet pointy, to answer your question.
That most definitely. Another thing that even, what was it? Primetime Treasure Hunters said that you can add a template, sort of similar to what you were stating. Because I think you get kind of into the groove and muscle memory with your fingers or whatnot. And like, hey, Bowl Buddies. So towards the end, quite similar to how you say it, you say your little measurements. I say item was purchased secondhand, may show signs of wear and patina. Please view photos for further details.
Right.
I always, to a point where it's gross, will say what the measurements are, because I don't want anyone, and that's how I kind of do all of my listings.
Yeah,
I don't want anyone to have to come back and say it was not listed here. Hey, Jennifer. So I just try really hard to make sure that no one has a shadow of a doubt about that. So item description, just in brief, and format. Okay, you can choose whether to have an auction style or fixed price. 99% of the time I do fixed price. What about you?
I do auctions only when I'm trying to clear something out. Or I guess there's two scenarios I do auctions. With clothing, when I'm trying to get rid of it. I never put clothing on an auction because I'm trying to make money. Never. I start low, and sometimes it sells, sometimes it doesn't, but it goes for, $5. I've found my permanent sale in my store is a better way of doing that. And then the other thing I sometimes do an auction for is if I just really am unsure on comps on something, but it's not clothing. Like I had those movie scripts. A couple of those I started on an auction at like $20 or something like that. And I got the bid up to like 50 one time. And I was like, wow, look at that.
That's unreal.
That was like the only time I actually had like an actual bidding, like interesting auction going on, and not just like one bidder, you win. So I rarely do them, and it's usually to move things, so someone can get a screaming deal.
Screaming memeing. To be honest with you, you know, on the, you know, you do a lot of clothing. I do not. I hardly ever do auction based items because I think I'm a little terrified of the idea of putting time out there to list this item, knowing how much it is, and then baiting people with that. Come and, you know, whatever. I'm fine with it doing it on eBay or not on YouTube. I'm fine with doing it on YouTube, you know, kind of baiting people a little bit.
With that style, yeah.
But as eBay goes, you know, I'm a little terrified to do that. But yes, you and I got roped and wrestled into a new challenge. For those of you who didn't see, I actually was in a previous challenge, the $15 thrift challenge. Miss Bolo Buddies herself put that together. And so this next one we're going to do is a little bit more, say about eBay. 99-cent auction with free shipping. And basically the winner would be whomever sells the most off of the starting price. So
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous. But what do we got to lose, right?
Money and inventory.
Very true.
The help of my business.
But it's only 5 items, so it's not that bad. I'm excited. I'm excited and I'm nervous because the kicker is that we will upload a video with 10 items to choose from, and the viewers will get to decide 5 out of the 10 items to go off of. So that'll be super fun to do. That's going to be happening later this month. So super fun.
Yeah. And more. I gotta think everyone watching might bid if it's 99-cent free shipping. I would hope. I don't know what side tangent. I don't know what to put up. I only have really clothing. Like clothing does not do well on auctions.
Well, if you're making a video about it, maybe with people seeing that they really want it.
Maybe. Like, please come bid on this. At least
help me.
At least $4 so I can pay for shipping.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. I'm like, what am I gonna list? Jewelry.
At least it's lightweight to ship, but it can be so valuable, way more than 99 cents.
How are the littles and Opie doing?
That's
well. So precious. Thank you for asking, Shelly. Really appreciate it.
That's sweet. Opie is at school today, which is our word for doggy daycare. So he is not present, but he's having fun. Yay.
Go thrifting. You'll have some time.
Yeah.
No truer words spoken. So that'll be fun. Definitely watch for that. Check that out. And let's see here. Let's go back to the listing. Okay, good till canceled. So that's another thing with this whole fixed price kind of thing. You'll see this kind of format, right? That means that no matter what, the item is going to stay at this price until canceled, or if it's sold on elsewhere, if you have cross posting. You can rent to schedule on. I hardly ever use that. I just pretty much when I press submit, that's it for me.
I used to use the scheduler thing, and then I started charging for it.
No way.
Yeah, I was like, I would take an evening, and I feel like this was not that long ago, and I guarantee you I did not pay for it. I would create like 3 listings for every day, and then they would go off, and it was so much easier than having to go in and list every day. But now I don't do it because it's 10 cents.
That's interesting because it doesn't say that it. Oh, right here. Yeah, 10 cents.
Yeah. I was like, lame-o.
That's where they get
I just inadvertently didn't know that before. But when you go to the very bottom of the listing page, it will add all of your fees and it'll tell you at the bottom. And I never click list when it's something that's not 0. So I wouldn't have done it.
Have you ever done the standout with bold title?
Accidentally. And I was mad because I didn't realize it. And I clicked just muscle memory, clicked list, and then saw it said $4 because I saw the zeros. And I was like, what is $4?
Yeah.
I was mad about that.
Did it do anything for your sale?
No, it was a very high-end item, though. I think it was maybe the Jordans or something. So something I was charging several $100s for. So I was like, well, it's not like I put it on an Old Navy t-shirt or something, right? Like I'll make more than $4 on this, but
do you guys share your store links? My store links are in the description box, and they're also on my YouTube page. Upper right hand side has all of my links. But if you're referring to sharing your personal store link, I don't know if you can if you're not a moderator. But I don't know. Let me know what you mean.
here's mine. I just put my in the thing.
Do you have yours listed on your YouTube? Okay.
I do. I think they are in every description. And then my banner, you can put those like icons in the top. I
Right,
put my
that's
eBay and things there. So
Thanks. Courtney said, I did the same thing, Kelly, and mine were auto-renewed, and I had no clue. I did not put it on there, so no clue how that happened. I was a cheap shirt, paid for it for months.
oh my goodness. Now I have to make sure. I'm worried about the auto renewing. But I think because if it was those Jordans, they've been unpaid for like 2 or 3 buyers now. So I've had to like relist it. So I don't think I should check though. But I think I'm probably good.
Okay, so back to selling details. I would be curious if they still charge you when it's in that kind of limbo. That would be interesting.
It's not technically like a live listing when it's in limbo. So,
Right.
And then when you go to relist it, you get the page again. So I could uncheck it. It doesn't just automatically.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Because I've had a few people, and you can re-update everything.
Yeah.
Okay, best offers. I always allow best offers on my stuff. That helps me sell.
Love it.
Depending on, automatically decline could be really handy. Depending.
I've used them.
Yes, most definitely. On stuff like, I've had jade items and people are like, would you take $10? And I'm like, what? So then I have to go in and be like, it's gonna nah. Do you ever use sell as a lot section?
I've never used that.
Never used it either. I don't know how much if this adds a different.
What a weird example. A case of batteries, 3 dresses, and a CD collection all selling for one price. Like, what? Who would want all of those things?
I can only imagine possibly someone's going to a party with a little old CD players, Walkmans.
Right? Like, you're like, wow, this is exactly everything on my list.
Behind this, yeah, that's fantastic. Allow buyers to remain anonymous to other eBay users. I don't know how. So private listings, make a donation, payment options. So I have managed payments by eBay. And now I guess I have a question for you. Now we're going over this extensively. However, when I go through an eBay listing, I'm like, and list, like totally stream past a lot of those things.
Yeah.
So it just gives you the option to be.
Yeah. Go back up to the payment thing because mine looks different, and I think I know why. But oh yeah. Okay. So your payment and then the shipping section, mine is different because I have like shipping policies. So instead of you have 3 drop downs there for shipping, I've created like a policy that combines all of those into one drop down. So by default, it will be calculated first class with 3 business days, and it's all in one drop down. So I was like, wait, why does this? Oh, and then the payment is also there, like immediate pay or not. And then the global shipping. Yeah. That'll be in our shipping episode.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a shipping episode because I think it's just good in general. So, you know, like I said, I usually will literally put good till canceled. All of this will be automatically populated for me. I put in the price. I pass this. I don't accept returns. That's the difference between Kelly and I. Because with me, for something like jewelry, unless it has to be really specific circumstances, I just don't.
I don't
do it.
International returns. There's like, I guess I don't do that.
Hello, Elizabeth K. So, but I do. So we're talking about shipping here. I like the drop down because I can choose media mail. I can choose if an item is priority. But most of the time, 99% of the time, it's going to be first class. So what I found out the hard way is that you don't have to put any package details on here. They're just concerned about the weight of the item.
Especially if you're doing calculated shipping. If you're charging a flat rate, the weight doesn't necessarily matter because no matter what that thing weighs, the buyer's only paying that price. But if you're doing calculated shipping, you want your weight to be accurate. Otherwise, you could be like paying a lot. Like I've made that mistake where, you know, I thought the jeans, like jeans are heavy. You don't realize jeans are heavy. You're like, oh, this is jeans. And then it's like, oh, that was over £1 and now I'm screwed. Yeah. So don't do that.
Yeah, I've done that as well. If something is on the cusp of £1, it's really boo-boo. Do you ever select the offer local pickup?
I think that is in with my shipping policy, and I don't think I've turned that on. It's kind of like Facebook Marketplace, you know, where you could like, I do on Facebook Marketplace, I say local pickup just because it's like by default, and that's kind of more commonplace for Facebook. I would only do local pickup if I had a very, very large item.
Yeah, I've got a table listed right now on Facebook Market. Come get it.
Yeah, something like that. That's gonna be a beast to ship. Like my boyfriend is shopping for motors, like literal, not motors. This is how much I know about cars, engines, and he's looking on eBay, and the shipping is $650 just for the product, right? That's not the cost, which is like thousands of dollars itself and stuff. So that's something that the dude is like, yeah, if you want to drive to Pennsylvania, you can go pick it up. Like something like that, I would make road trip for, you know, because it's cheaper.
Save you. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so something like that, I would do local pickup, but not a pair of jeans. Like, no.
No, I don't want people knowing where I live off of eBay. I don't know. It doesn't make a difference because Facebook's just similar. Anyways, sell internationally with the global shipping program. Now, that is one that literally we could probably have a whole show about. Thank you. That allows the person who is an international buyer to have less expensive shipping. So it'll charge you less. Just basically, it would be shipping in the US because they ship to a hub. And then from that hub, they ship to the person.
I love it. I love it. You are protected as a buyer too. If things go awry in the international shipping process. And you're only, the buyer pays more on their end, but you only ever see the part of the money that they paid for like the domestic shipping or whatever. Also, we could talk about this on a different shipping night as well, but what I didn't know, and probably Carly understands because she's international from us, but duties and taxes and extra fees when you order something internationally, there on eBay is a difference between basically when those duties and taxes are paid from the buyer has to pay them. So some countries charge extra things for buying them internationally. With the global shipping program, those duties are paid at the time of purchase. So the buyer pays one flat price. You know, they see all their I hate saying the word duties, but that's what they're called. Um, they pay them all at once. And if you're just doing the other international option is like eBay International Standard, that is duties unpaid, meaning that they may be receiving extra fees from their postal service once the item arrives.
Right. Depending on how much you were charged for the item, how many items you received.
Yeah. It all depends on how you fill out the customs form, then like how much it's worth. And yeah, and Carly sometimes she gets hit, sometimes I don't. Like I had a buyer in Canada buy a shirt and she asked me, are all of my taxes paid? And by default, I actually another time I called eBay about this because I was confused. They were very helpful. They do not do the global shipping program to Canada, or not in this choice or whatever. Like not on this item. It was not possible. Because if it was possible, she would have been given that option basically. So they said if it did not appear for her, then it was not a choice based off whatever incident with the item. And I had to tell her, like, I have no control over, like, I don't see the money you pay in your taxes. Like, that's not coming to my PayPal or anything. That's between you and your government, you know, like I can't do that. So just something to be aware of. Global shipping, buyers like it because they see everything.
As far as everything else goes, pretty much normally my items, and it's dependent on your personal weight of the item. I have obviously my item location. So because up here I do have cost varies by buyer location, and I do have the option for them to choose if they want it faster or slower, meaning if they want it priority or first class. So I do like that as an option.
I learned
and then
your what sold video.
Yeah, that was actually really fun to make. I think I'm going to make more of those. Sell it faster. Okay, so a debated thing on whether or not you can boost your sales. And so depending on how much, like let's say I listed this item for $65, okay? It'll auto-populate how much, you know, if it sells per the promoted listing. So if someone sees it, clicks on it, purchases, then you will get charged this $351. In addition to eBay, how much they charge.
Right.
Hello, Polly. How do you oftentimes hit the promoted listing? What items do you tend to hit more of or not?
So I've experimented with two different methods. At first I didn't promote anything. And now I promote 100% of my listings. I promote them all, and it before, like for several months, I promoted everything at 1%. So the lowest you can go, and it was okay. It wasn't a lot of sales, but it was okay. Now I've switched it, and I promote everything at whatever percent equals $1. So it basically depends on how you price it, but and the category and everything depends on what the suggested rate is. But right now I price everything at $1 extra fee, which I find is okay. I was like, it's $1. Like I'm okay paying $1. And I find it help a ton. So I was going to count, I have my eBay orders pulled up, and I was going to go in and count of the first page, which I think is 50 orders, how many of them sold via promoted listings.
And I actually was working on doing the same thing because I have been promoting my listings.
One. And this does include some that were like unpaid or whatever, but they still found me via promoted. So I'll include them in my count.
So per 50, I had 12 listings sell through promoted listings. Definitely interesting. A lot of times I tried to do the whole $1 thing, but I have a lot of, how many?
25. So exactly 50%.
Wow. How interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I have a lot of high priced items, and I don't want to say it in that way because for me, they're high priced. I put a lot of my gold, my silver, my gemstones, my stuff on eBay or whatever that I would consider like someone would want to purchase for themselves or a gift for others or whatever the case may be. So when I find that I'm pricing an item, especially over $100, I will usually go with the suggested promoted rate on eBay just to maximize, obviously, a sale. Possibly.
And that makes sense because you're a higher percentage there. You're making more money on that sale, so it's less of a hit. If you're like doing $4 per item, but you're only selling it for 20, like that's a high fee for a $20 item. But for a $100 item, $4 is small potatoes. Kind of thing.
Arguable depending on if the item you want to just get rid of fast, or that would be another reason why I would bulk up that promoted if I'm just sick and tired of that friggin' item, and I'd be willing to take that hit. But I don't know, again, completely debatable, and probably could be a whole series show about it or whatever. But
Courtney said a question about like, so you have to do them individually. That would take me like days to figure out. I mean, I just do it at the time of listing. You can bulk change your promoted listings. Hey, Gary. But I think you can only do it by percentage, not dollar amount. You can only change the percentage, but you can go in and bulk change the promoted listings to all be 5%. But again, that depends on what they're listed at.
I didn't know we had the option for that amount. Is that because I don't have an eBay store, just listing? That brings up an excellent point. So just to wrap this up a little bit, volume pricing I don't do because I don't have that. Granted, I have about 500 listings on my eBay store, plus or minus, depending on sales. But I don't have anything run right now in bulk pricing. That's something to consider later down the road. I believe Courtney has that because I have checked out her eBay store. Do you offer bulk pricing?
I did in the beginning because I thought it was something like the bundle feature in Poshmark.
That's what immediately I think about.
Then I realized it wasn't really working for anything. And then I did turn it on for the socks. Remember the socks? So I was like, if you want to buy more than one sock, right, for like, that would be a scenario I would think people would want. It turns out people have only just been buying one at a time. They must like just one specific one, but whatever. But
now, does it only apply to the mass quantity of items that you have in a particular item, or does it refer to bulking, like bundling, as in like in Poshmark?
I think it does refer to bundling as in Poshmark. So like if they wanted one sock and then another item, but that also had it turned on, like you have to say, unlike in Poshmark, when you say allow, well, you can't even say allow bundles, like they're just there. Everything is eligible to be bundled, where that is kind of the setting to say, you can't bundle this. Even if you wanted to, I don't have it turned on for the discount bundle. I don't do it now. Like yeah.
It's definitely something to think about in the future. But since I feel like Poshmark already covers that and everything's already cross-posted, you want a bundle, just go over to Poshmark. You know what I mean? But granted,
like, how many bundles do I actually get on Poshmark?
None. The people who bundle, like I have someone who bundled up like $5,000 worth of stuff. And I'm all,
I'm gonna buy it.
this is for real, yo. You should have your YouTube channel pulled up so people can go sub to you. There you go. I put her.
That was just my default. I didn't even change it.
I put her email in the description box down below, and obviously shouted her out to Thrifter Scorecard. And please link that in there as well, because Thrifter Scorecard
is great. I usually drop my channel during these as well. Which here's my link.
Thrifter Scorecard definitely helps me. Oh my gosh, with organizing. Literally, I have my little bins and caddies organized, so that I can just go into Thrifter Scorecard and organize, and I just cannot literally have it up right now. I'm going to do a quick screen share and shout out my girl, because literally Thrifter Scorecard, I could talk about it. It needs to be a whole segment here. So Thrifter Scorecard, this is it. I cannot literally talk about this enough. I go straight up into my inventory scorecard, and it shows me the items that need to be listed. I can go in here, go under, let's say, glass luster coated faux pearls. I can go down and give it a custom SKU. Sorry, my heathen of a son just came over here. The platforms that I've listed it on, or going to list on, the source trip I got it from. You can update the information. I mean, I cannot. Thrifter Scorecard is just amazing. It talks about my sales. It talks about the categories that I have. As far as, she even made custom categories for me so that I can see which things are selling, my bracelets, like, can you even?
You can get really specific. And for those Poshmark sellers, if you saw Poshmark yesterday updated their offers to likers, discounts, shipping discounts, Thrifter Scorecard now accommodates that as well. So you can do the $5.95 shipping and the $4.99 shipping. And all of that is calculated automatically.
It's amazing. And we should be talking about Thrifter Scorecard very soon. We should just let him have it just for a second. So that's fine. So anyways, all right, back to it. So eBay store.
Oh yeah, that was someone had that question, Polly.
Yes. So
I believe you can still promote your listings even if you don't have a store, though, to answer her question. I think I should look that up. But yeah, what do you feel about? Do you need an eBay store? Do you not? What?
So when I first started, I was wondering what are the perks, what are the whatever. I think I always want to know what's going to be the pros, what's going to be the cons of anything that I do. How much is this going to take from me? When I started listing and then surpassed my limit of free stuff and saw that I could get the basic store for less than an invoice was per month before a store.
Yeah,
I thought that was more economical for me.
Agreed. And just to go with what Polly said really quick to clarify, you don't necessarily have a choice on the amount. You only have a choice on the percentage. I just change the percentage so the amount reflects what I'm going for. If I'm going for $1, I just change the percentage, if that makes sense. Oh, I just spilled my drink!
Cold britches.
I'm like sitting on the couch and like that was really unfortunate. Okay, we're just gonna lean forward now, everyone.
Well, at least it doesn't look like you peed your pants.
Just sitting in a puddle. Great.
Sitting in a puddle of water.
Yeah. But yes, that's why I got a store as well, is because it was more economical.
100%.
It was cheaper because I was selling enough items, and eBay just released new updates to the store levels. So with a store, you get a certain amount, even without a store, you get a certain amount of free listings a month before you have to pay insertion fees. And they just upped them. So before, Devin and I were on the same plan, we would get 350 free listings a month, which is great, but we both have over 400 items in our store. So when they review and you're listing more, by the end of the month, you're going to have to start paying insertion fees or cancel all of your listings to stop them. But now they boosted it up to 1,000. And they did it for every store level, boosted dramatically. So if you were one plan, go look at the spring seller update because
So magical.
it's great.
Tear jerking.
I'm thrilled. Like 1,000, I don't even have to worry anymore. I grow more, you know, like
I
that's
just
great.
cannot literally. So it does at this point kind of compel you to, if you are looking into a serious thing of selling. Yeah.
200 a month. Yikes.
Yeah. But I can only imagine
Which is a lot of items.
how much you're putting out there. And depending on what store level. So it really compels you to look into the stores and see, especially now that they changed it, that would be really awesome.
Yeah. And I think some other things might have changed about maybe like the pricing for insertion fees or something like that. But they have a beautiful chart that explains it all. It's definitely worth taking a look at.
You start towards like the last week of the month kind of getting like, okay, sorting through your stuff and see what the free things are. Like, I'm going to list a whole bunch of CDs and books.
Right? Because you get those for free on managed payments. You get like 10,000 free listings a month and only certain categories. And of course, it's not clothing or jewelry. So we're both kind of screwed in that, but not anymore.
But there are craft items that you can do too, so that's pretty cool. There's a lot of specific things that you don't realize that you have, but you do, so it's kind of nice that they have that little bit extra.
Yeah.
Do you know the date it starts? I need to call and figure out how to downgrade. I think effective. Okay,
I believe March, April. I'm 99% sure the thing said April 1st. So
and
next week.
I've already have 1,000 to go through on mine.
You already have? It's already on your thing? Maybe it updated already. Maybe I should go check.
Because I don't want to fib now.
I kind of assumed it wasn't effective yet, but I haven't scrolled down to really double check that.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Basic subscription. Mine's still $350.
You know what it got me was this one right here, the free insertions. I'm like, it gave me 1,000.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, April 1st. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That's on the light.
Yeah, it says in the document too, and I read it a couple weeks ago, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said.
So definitely, eBay it seems complicated, but it's only as complicated as you want to make it for yourself. On the level of being so easy to list, I would put it up there with Poshmark. Super easy, super simple.
Yeah, it's not difficult. There's just more to fill in. But as far as, is it hard? No.
Is it amazing that you can send out offers and receive offers? Yes. Going from being on Etsy where it's a flat price, it has its advantages and disadvantages, obviously. But really though, I would say that I make the most on eBay now.
Oh, for sure. eBay is bae. eBay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Most definitely. But it really just depends on, just like anything, how much you put out there versus how much you get back. So
yeah, that's a good point.
In anything, consistency, you find yourself in the algorithm. And, Kelly and I had a conversation. It was probably like, a week ago where I was talking, I was like, dang, my eBay store is really hot right now. It's popping. Yeah. And she had mentioned something about your algorithms. kid just
Hey, bud.
started. So it depends, you know, if you have like a solid couple of days there cluster, you won't really see that effect on your store until
A little while. Yeah.
So
and I find it more slow, the algorithm to pick up on your consistency compared to Poshmark. I find it's a little bit quicker. Again, all speculation because no one understands these things and no one has the details, but eBay and Poshmark themselves.
But what I can say is consistency is key. Whether that's one thing a day, 5 things a day, consistency, whether that's sharing your Poshmark store or whatever the case may be, just being a little bit more consistent. They love that in their algorithms, and I can tell you that without a shadow of a doubt. So it's coming towards the end of our gorgeous segment. And at this point, we usually give ourselves a goal for the week. Or something in pertaining to this. I think I'm going to check out more or less the promoted listings a little bit more and maybe encourage you to do so if that's something that interests you. Maybe if you have an item that it's not budging or whatever, try it out if you have time and you can remember it.
That's
next
good point.
Next week, we're going to talk about Etsy. And then we're going to do an Etsy versus eBay. I think that would be really awesome. And then we're probably going to go into a whole bunch of other stuff. Currently updating our Posh store. Stop selling clothes, too much work, prefer jewelry. Well, there you go.
There you go. Yeah. I'm
Find
still
what works for you.
Game, but it is a lot of work. Lots of measuring.
That watches. I can't do watches. So yeah. All right. Cool. So do you have a goal you're going to give yourself this week, Ms. Kelly?
I was just thinking through that. I was like, maybe I can play around a bit with the auctions. I don't know. Because you also get free auctions so the 350 listings we were talking about is for buy it nows. So you get like 200 or something auctions, but like
I believe you get just as much, don't you?
Oh, do we? I don't even know because I never use them. So I was like, maybe I'll play around with those and prep for the challenge. But I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of the auctions. So with clothing, they can be great for some things, but like I just don't sell those things. So I'm curious to maybe explore a little bit more about that. We'll see. I'll see if I have some knickknacks that I might throw up there just to see with shipping. To see.
I might also do that as well. Take a chance,
Take a chance. Just see, maybe you could get the one bid and move a product that is still cool. Especially if you started out at a price you're willing to be okay with.
I think that's the key with anything. Don't lowball it just to see about whatever, unless it's a challenge, of course. But don't lowball it. Start it off at a price where you're like, well, if it sells at this price, then at least
making money or making my money back or whatever. And you may not get any bids, and then okay, no one's interested at that price.
Exactly. So with that being said, thank you so much for hanging out. We always encourage you to let us know how you feel about this little series we got going on. We'd love for you to ask any questions you may have. If there's a certain topic you want us to talk about, we are by no means experts, but what we can say is we love talking about reselling.
When you guys ask questions in the chat. So thank you for being very engaging and communicative with questions and thoughts. We cannot express enough how much we love it when this is more of a dialogue. So yes.
So yeah. Okay. All right. Until next time, I think we might do again Thursday. I'm liking this time though. This is a very fun time.
I like this time. This is our second time doing it a bit earlier, and it seems good.
But we'll see about it. Anyways, hope everyone has a wonderful week. I am going to be on a little bit later. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, if I get some stuff in the mail, and do a little bit of selling. So, catch you on the next one, guys.
Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.